Hello and welcome to Frostside Chat. Our weekly
Or so intimate the way you said that. It was
weekly
very...
it's late night talk show.
Yeah.
Our weekly live streamed post-session discussion where we talk about what just happened during D&D.
I feel like you really should have a fireplace behind you.
Yeah.
For this.
This is the chat for session 1. So if you have not watched that session yet, please go do that now because
it has to be this.
Spoiler.
Hello and welcome to the...
That's good.
That's
When
what
she-
you need.
It's better when she does
it.
Yeah.
When she does it, it's like I expect her to ask me to call a number right afterwards.
Yeah.
If I want to have a good night.
I am your dungeon master, Eric, and joining me, Chris, aka Oval Robin.
Hello. So you're getting it. You're right again.
Raymond as Edmund.
Hello.
Hello. We did session 1.
You did.
I thought it went pretty good.
I think it did too.
I mean, I've had so long to plan for this campaign, but I only just knew who your characters were in the last week, maybe week and a half. And unfortunately, a lot of that plays into session 1, which is like where your characters are from, what their reasons are for being here, and ultimately, I decided to split you up in the beginning, but create those connections during the prologue. So Valravn and Edmund met each other and know each other, at least for a day or two, as they're traveling to Icewind Dale. And then Frey and Thimbleweed are from the area, so I had them meet each other and just travel the area around. Which I don't think it came across, but my idea was they actually spent several days together, like exploring in the area. And then Celeste is the most mysterious, like, what the fuck's going on with this character?
Yeah.
Just like appears and she doesn't even know what's going on. So that was the real wild card. And all of that I had to write basically like this week.
Yeah. I thought that intro did a really, really good job of skipping a lot of what's kind of painful in the beginning. Of the like, why would these characters even talk to each other? Why would they travel together?
Yeah,
you have to have those sort of laborious conversations where you all know that you're going to travel together at the end of the conversation, but your character has to get there. I think by doing that sort of kind of hand wavy, like you two know each other and you two know each other. Just I'm saying it. That solves half the problem. But I thought the really cool thing you did is have us meet mid-adventure, unknowingly in the same adventure, just meeting each other like midstream.
Mm-hmm.
Because that made it so that there didn't need to be that conversation because we're already in the middle of a thing.
Yeah.
Like we all have to work together because we're all going towards the same goal immediately.
Yeah. Instead of you all meeting in a tavern and just happen to strike up a conversation, you're all in the middle of a thing. Yeah, so this... Go ahead.
I did miss the detail of where Frey and Thimbleweed were. I thought we were supposed to go to town. So...
Oh, is that why you're so belligerent about not... I was like, Raven, stop it, you're fucking this up. We want to go. You want to follow the dwarves.
I missed the detail, but I thought that you mentioned a shelter for the Thimbleweed and Frey. I just kind of assumed it was in town. They just found a place to hide.
Yeah, it was. They were out. Yeah,
I thought they were in town. So I'm like, all right, do we want to go with them and find a medic in the town?
Oh, right. You didn't want to go on an adventure by ourselves and not meet them.
Right. Okay.
And then I was like, okay, well, we're not going that direction. I guess we'll just go a different direction. So you could probably tell my hesitancy.
I could tell. That was funny.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want to go there. Yeah. Aren't we supposed to like meet, Reese and, metagaming?
You're right. Yeah. What the others over there? Like, no. That makes sense now. Okay. I thought you were just being an asshole, but no.
No, I missed a small detail where they actually were.
Gotcha. Yeah. So this is a quest written in the book. And in the book, it's just you're in town, and these dwarves come up to you in a tavern and say, "Hey, can you?" And it pretty much plays out very similar to what I did. Well, pretty much exactly. Actually, they tell you, "Hey, we got attacked by a beast. We got caught in a blizzard. go and save our ingots, and then the party just goes out. And I wanted to turn it into like, okay, this is still a good starting quest because it's a very classic. It's got goblins,
Right.
but it's got a little bit of that tundra flavor with the polar bears, and the wagon is a cool visual. And I just like the setup. It was very simple to run. I was going to be an easy first session quest. And then, as I was learning your characters, then I was deciding, because originally my plan was similar to Tomb, all of you end up meeting in like Iron Master, and you've got all your reasons to go there, and you all travel together. I was copying too much from Tomb.
Yeah.
And then I had suggested in the campaign prep that some of you should be from the area to allow those ties there, and I was going to have just all of you returning there. But since some of you were new and some of you were there, I was like, okay, what if we actually split the party and then they meet? And then I had to decide, okay, where are they going to meet? Are they going to meet during the blizzard? My only worry, and I'm glad you said it went over well, was that I had the quest-giving dialogue scene with only half the party. And I loved y'all role-playing, but the whole time I'm worried. I was like, am I spending too much time, which is always the splitting the party problem. Am I spending too much time with this group? I didn't have anything scripted for the other group other than they're going to find the body first, and then everybody's going to come meeting up.
I thought it evened out pretty well in the end, because we had the time that the two of us spent talking to the dwarves was time that those two spent like investigating the body before we showed up. So it kind of felt like that was like the meanwhile bit.
Yeah.
So I didn't mind that at all. Well, I mean, I wasn't part of the other group, but
that was the thing. Yeah, if I could see,
it didn't seem bad.
Yeah, make sure I wasn't taking too much focus with
doing the story versus like combat. At least in the story, the other guys are listening and like, okay, we're picking up on it. Yeah, we're not involved, but at least the learning part of it.
Yeah.
Whereas combat's like just boring because you're just waiting around.
That's true.
Right.
So a little bit of different, but like Chris said, we were part of team talk to the doors.
Right.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
That was a tricky one for me to decide to do because swallow my popsicle. I was just worried about having only half the party involved with the actual quest giving, and then the other half not even know. So I was relying on you, which obviously we've played together so long. I trust you all to have that. I did not expect the role playing to be so fucking fantastic.
Neither.
I just threw you all in that situation going, I don't know how they're going to handle it. I mean, I've got gaps in my notes where I want them to role play. And initially I was going to have them, like, I literally had, like, notes, like, pause for, Everybody
brought the fucking A game tonight.
Yeah.
It was impressive.
Everybody was, like, high energy and ready to bring those characters and voices all around. I was like, oh my lord, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So as a DM, that makes me feel fantastic.
I really do wonder. I don't know anybody else's are at this point. I'm getting some vague idea. Well, no, I'm not. I'm pretty sure that whatever's going on with Celeste is probably her secret. But
I didn't know how subtle she wanted to be, and she was just like, I'm gonna do this. I was like, okay. Session 1, let's do this.
Yep. I forgot where I was going with that. I wondered how much that secret actually did bolster everybody.
Mm-hmm.
How much it really did like clarify the vision of the character and sort of. But then again, I mean, the voices wouldn't really have anything to do with that. That's more what the players are bringing.
But if it makes you excited, if it makes you more excited about the character, that's going to help everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also Rochelle's is a good example because thus far I'm not clear how much of it is her character's personality versus her secret, but like her sort of very timid, like scared, like where am I sort of nature is great role playing. I don't know how much of that is like permanently her character or how much of it is a result of the actual thing that just happened to her or whatever it is.
Exactly. And she's got an interesting character arc because obviously we don't want her to be hiding and cowering through all these combat encounters. But that's impressive.
Role-playing it as almost like accidental. Everything is like kind of like her just like accidentally hitting people with her mop and accident or like instinctually like lashing out at people. I think that was pretty good.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. But I've got a really good idea of like what everybody's personality is already right off the bat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's impressive. And that's part of why I thought this would make a good starting quest is you're gonna have the big info dump scene at some point. You're gonna have the big like welcome to and all that. But I was like, I just do the tutorial thing of games and give you a vertical slice of what the game's like in the very beginning. Do that. The intro Zelda dungeon or whatever, and so you get a taste of combat, you get a taste of a blizzard, you get a taste of some socializing, get that in that session 1 right off the bat, and then everybody can lock into place. And you guys did it so well. Even before combat, I feel like, God, you guys are just role-playing so much and just around the body and meeting each other. Like, it's going just so fucking well. And that energizes me up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I really like that you just kind of started to slightly in media res, where it's like we don't have to go through that like trudgery of like, okay, you all meet each other, introduce yourselves one after another.
It was a lot of cutscenes in the beginning, but I thought that was the right thing to do, which is paint the picture, presume a lot of what's going on with the characters so that they don't have to sit there and be like, well, it's like, all right, here's what you've done, here's what you do. And I stole this from you. You did a good job of this back in Storm Kings, where you give everybody, make sure they roll something. Just like during your story, involve the players by making them roll a dice, whether it's a skill check or a saving throw. Like, make them do a thing. And it doesn't have too much consequence. Typically. Which I thought was interesting when I had you and Raymond opposed to each other on your rolls.
I'm not sure what would have happened if Raymond had won that.
Yeah, it's just slightly different, like, dialogue, a thing that I say, basically.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I made sure everybody had a thing that they rolled so that it's not just me talking the entire time and everybody's just kind of, all right, when do I get to do something?
Right. Yeah, I thought that all went great. And then we had the little split up thing in the beginning, but then once we all came together, I just thought everybody kind of just clicked immediately as like, okay, everybody's role playing, everybody's interacting with each other.
Yeah.
That was all just really good.
And then I think we timed it just right where it's like, all right, and now you're following the tracks. Like, we just kind of moved it along after we had finished the role playing.
But yeah, we got to a point where I think what's very clear is that there are the like let's get this done folks in the party, right? Just role play wise. So about the time they said like, okay, let's get this done, then it's like time to move on, right? It's like, all right. The role play section we're not ended, but
and then basically I read the next paragraph, which is you follow the tracks for however long. Time to read the next paragraph,
exactly.
Yeah, which is entering this battle map is not from the game. This campaign has good battle maps, but it does not have maps for every single encounter or scenario, and this is one that did not have a map. So this is from it's from Evantier Games. Shit, I forgot the name of it. It's like I'm sure it's got Icewind Dale in the name of it, but it's some kind of Icewind Dale like companion thing. I can look it up real quick. But it is a nice map. The problem is I messed up, and you know this because of my description where I said you guys are 60 feet from the sled and the sled's another 60 feet from the wagon. Well, it wasn't. It was 120 feet. And the whole time I'm prepping this encounter, think it's 60 feet away. So and I think what happened, in the book it says they're 120 feet from the sled and 120 feet from so I must have, months ago when I first put this map on here, cut off that left end and moved you guys closer, because like, why the fuck am I going to start them 120 feet away? Just put them 60 feet.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, obviously the way the map is built, I didn't cut that up to make it here, so it was still a 120 foot gap. So immediately as soon as I draw, I was like, oh no, there's gonna be a boring ass 2 or 3 rounds of everybody just running up to this wagon, which thankfully you all did a good job of it and had fun and did some ranged attacks. But my intention to fix this fight would have been to move that closer.
The gap.
Yeah, that's just not.
I think it would have made it harder, certainly, because the I don't think the goblins in the caravan would have been at disadvantage.
Right. That's true.
So it would have been a more difficult encounter.
I guess that's true.
So that might have been like a good give and take, because we would have been able to get there easier.
I was just worried,
but also they would have been able to shoot us like immediately.
I wasn't even thinking balance wise. I was thinking just if it got boring for that bit in the middle where everybody's just spending their action dashing up there for like a round or two.
Yeah, I think it was at most a half a round of people trying to or maybe a round of people just moving up. But like you said, I think we all role played it pretty well in terms of like what we're planning to do, and
yeah.
So yeah, I don't think it was too bad.
Yes.
I assume the polar bears were the they won't fuck with you if you don't fuck with them variety of enemies, because they immediately seem like, all right, we shouldn't touch them.
Yeah, generally, I mean, it's there as kind of a wild card. Like if the players want to fuck with something, like Raymond wants to do something. If you want to try to walk up to the bears and try to free them and see what happens, then you can do that. It's just kind of it's an environmental thing for the players to fuck with.
Before Raymond started doing his thing, I was considering trying to dissonant whisper the far bear to get him to run. Because I thought maybe that would fuck up the wagon, the whole wagon, one bear's running away would topple the wagon maybe or something.
Yeah, I could have seen that happening. The one limitation is this map, if you haven't noticed, the things are on the map and not tokens. Right. So one worry I had was oh fuck, if they actually manipulate the wagon or something, I can't really during combat. Obviously, it doesn't really matter after, but I can't actually manipulate that stuff. Or if you want to move the sled for cover or something weird, I can't move those. Right. I know.
Which I wasn't sure if early on if we were even intent. I think that may have been the one consequence of your misdistancing, is that when I looked at the map, I was like, maybe we're not supposed to fight that.
I remember there was a part where you were like, let's just get the wagon and get out of here.
Yeah, because it was so far away that I was like, well, maybe it's supposed to be just this distant threat that shoots at us and we pull the wagon away.
That would have put a monkey wrench in my plans, because I did not have a contingency for that. If you which, I mean, the goblins could still shoot you. I don't know what I would have ruled, because maybe if you guys had tried to intimidate or frighten the goblins away, they might have just gone away and run. But if you guys are just trying to take the ingots and go, maybe they would have tried. I don't know. It just kind of depends. Yeah. Unfortunately, I wouldn't have been able to. The maps would have started becoming useless because I don't have. Right. I couldn't move the things around. You can move the sled, but it is heavy as shit.
Yeah.
Which I guess is still going to come into play for what's. I mean, it's not. I mean, we can hand wave. It's going to take you however long to move there, because it's not.
But we have polar bears now.
We do have polar bears.
Do you? I mean, you've got polar bears lashed to a wagon.
Friendship.
Yes.
Right. I mean, this will be next time, but my goal was befriending the polar bears so they can pull, because I assume that's what the goblins were going to do.
Yes.
Because that's a heavy sled, but at least the polar bears can pull us and the wagon.
That's true.
Right. At least most of the way, even if the polar bears can't go inside the city, at least they can get us.
Yeah. This is not a regular looking wagon, by any means.
Right.
That is my hope, and we guess we'll find out next time.
Right.
If that does happen.
Yeah. That's so funny that you said that about the. I was so confused. Why is he resisting going on this quest so much? I don't understand.
I thought it was a character thing.
It's not part of the mystery. I must continue on. No, I'm giving you a quest here. Come on.
At first I was like, no, my goal is to get to town and figure this out. And then, you convinced me, all right. But then I didn't realize that everybody was out there.
They were coming there, yeah.
Which, I mean, in answer to the, what would have happened if we had messed with the wagons and stuff. Thankfully for you, we have a barbarian that once the fighting starts is probably not going to end until everybody's dead. There's no retreating, I don't think.
This might have been part of the fact that it was session 1 and you're all still learning your characters metagaming wise and role playing wise. You're still literally had just met, but you guys had 0 tactics for coming up here. And frankly, you literally it's one of those moments where here are the enemies. They don't see you. What do you want to do? And then Heather's and everybody's we just start going forward and going to attack mode. I was like,
I will say yes.
Let's start rolling for initiative. Then
I understand Heather's instinct, because if roleplay wise, especially right at the beginning, if roleplay wise it makes sense, for them not to be tactical, because that's what I did at the very beginning of Lost Mine.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
that's the very first thing I did was stride up and announce our presence.
That's true.
And just challenge whoever was out there.
That's gonna be and you guys don't have any rogues or anything that would necessarily want to even do the stealth thing necessarily. So it'll be interesting to see if the tactics are just we're gonna run at them and scream and deal with it. I anticipated your sleep spell.
Did you?
Because I glanced through all your character sheets and I was like, boy, sleep would devastate this encounter. And it is. I mean, it's
the only logical choice here is sleep.
And it did. I did not expect the fog cloud. Which did work very well.
Yeah.
And yes, this is one of those encounters where clearly, you guys are fully rested. You're also level 2 instead of level 1. which means you were more powerful and more beefy. And this was clearly not. I mean, I'm not going to throw a really fucking. I thought it was a fun tease to be like, oh shit, are we going to fight like a Yeti right at the beginning? But then like, no, it's a bunch of goblins.
I was wondering about that. We never even saw it.
It's a red herring. Yeah. You talk about this vicious beast, and like, oh no, it's just a goblin encounter.
Yeah.
But yeah, that sleep, you nailed 2 of the ones with the fog cloud, but there was one awake, and that one awake one woke up another one on for his action. So when Reese dropped the fog cloud, there were 2 awake ones and one is still asleep.
Gotcha. So that was pretty good. Like half of them fell asleep.
You literally nailed 4 of them out of 6.
Sleep is one of those spells that's going to become useless.
Yes.
After like level 4.
Yeah.
So I got to get as much mileage out of it.
That's
low
the best.
As I can.
Yeah, the best case is a bunch of low level or low hit point minions.
Yeah.
So I did expect you to do that, and you did it very, very well.
Nice.
And you can replace spells later, right?
Yes, you can.
I
You absolutely can.
I think anybody can.
Yeah.
I think
Tasha's adds that in almost every spellcaster's optional.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a like 1 per level or something limitation. I forget if there's, or Tasha might have opened that back up. I don't know.
Yeah. I thought we handled the combat really well.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we've all played D&D for a while, and we do have some new characters. Like I think that Magic Stone threw us for a loop for a second with Raven's. I've never seen that spell before, so I don't know if that's a new thing that Tasha added or Xanathar's.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise
that was just me. I've never been a spellcaster, so.
Well, to be fair, I'd never seen that spell, so I don't know how that spell works either.
Both, yeah.
Yeah, I like your.
It's like Shillelagh, like you create the magic weapon, and at the same time
the magic attack with the
yeah. There's a number of spells like that where as you create the magic weapon as part of the spell, you immediately get to attack with the I
don't think I did a whole lot of damage to you guys, but that again, these goblins are not very strong. You guys are level 2. There was a lot of goblins, but they were separated. I was surprised whenever Frey ran up, and then I immediately got to go again with all my goblins. I'm thinking, oh man, I could really do some damage here. And then I rolled really bad on all my attack rolls.
Yeah.
I think I only hit her like 1 time out of like 6 attacks or something crazy.
I mean, she had resistance anyway.
She did have resistance, which helps a lot.
Yeah.
It cuts all that shit in half.
But the dice were definitely in our favor tonight. There was a lot of really good rolls on our end.
Yeah, multiple crits, and those first couple rolls with the fucking survival checks and all that, rolling all these 20s. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I will say that I rolled hilariously. So during crafting is when I like to roll all my minion hit points, so players can see that. We can have fun with that. Because yes, I try to roll hit points for everything.
Yeah.
I rolled hilariously bad for all my goblin hit points. The average.
A few of them. I was like, okay, this. We do 7. He's still standing. Like, okay, but fine.
Yeah.
But some of them were like 5 damage. And
yes.
They're dead. Like, oh.
Some of these goblins had 2 and 3 hit points.
Oh no!
I rolled it's a 2d6 on damage, and it's an average of 7 hit points. And literally, some of it was like 1/1. There's 2 hit points. I'm like, that is a runty ass goblin.
Jesus.
So like, as long as you hit him, he is dead. And that one that you did the vicious mockery to, for like 3 damage, that was one of the runty 2 hit point goblins. I was like, you fucking emotionally destroyed him.
Oh no.
Holy shit, you're fucking role-playing at every song. Are you gonna be able to keep up with that? That's not a song. Every spell. I mean, it's a spell. Every vicious mockery, the heroism, the bardigans, like, holy mother of crap.
Some of them I'll probably be able to keep up. Vicious mockery I'll probably be able to keep up. Heroism is just going to be the same thing every time I do it, so that one may get a little like I may start shortening that one every time, because it's just going to be like giving someone a pep talk every time.
I was really blown away, like every single time you were doing it.
So some of them sleep may get more shortened as we go because it's just going to be doing the same description, like, and then the enemies felt sleepy, and that's just.
And I held back on inspiration because I needed to know where the baseline was, and I was like, "Oh
this actually was not a good barometer for that because
it was not." Everybody was like, "God, everybody's bringing their A game. This is amazing." I'd be handing out inspiration left and right. So, what is going to be the kicker that's going to reward it now?
Right.
But yeah, I did not reward any this session, but
I forgot about that. Yeah,
I mean, I kind of did too, but I was like just blown away by how everybody was just being amazing. Like usually there's a moment where somebody does something, I'm like, oh man, that's inspiration. But this time it was every fucking moment that everybody was doing was like such good role playing and good like cool stuff that their character was doing. I was like, fuck, it's now you got to take it to a whole nother level. Like, how does that work? I mean, presumably, you know, things will maybe even back out a little bit, and then those bumps will be inspiration. But I don't know. That was impressive.
I'm definitely not going to be able to keep it up with the Bardic Inspiration because that's going to be the same thing every time again too.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, they felt bolstered, and I can only describe that so many times before.
You did great with all your spells. Holy crap! Did you how many spells do you have? Did you go through everything?
I did use two level 1 spell slots of my 3, so I did go through some resources here.
Okay. You presume correctly, it's like the one encounter of your long rest, basically.
Yeah. I gave up 2 Bardic Inspirations, and I gave up two level 1 spell slots. Wow.
Okay.
Which, I mean, with the feat and everything, I've got a lot of like per long rest like things up my sleeve already. I've got 1 use of Phase Step, another use of Phase Step, as from Fey Touched. 1 use of Command. Just outside of my spell slot, so I got like stuff that's like a lot of options.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I think Edmund was keeping that shit in reserve, weren't you? He was using the Magic Stone, which I think is a cantrip. Was it really? The telekinetic thing was a cantrip too?
It's a feat.
Oh, it's your feat.
Uh-huh.
How often can you use it?
Didn't realize there's a limit. Let me see.
Well, I don't know if there was. That's what I was asking. I just never. It was really cool to see it.
Right.
So, I mean, I treat it like a cantrip, but it just says for telekinetic, you learn the mage hand cantrip. Blah 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 blah. As a bonus action, you also try to telekinetically shove 1 creature you can see. So I don't think it's necessary.
No, it's not. There's not a.
It's just a bonus action.
Yeah, the mage hand is an action, and then the bonus is the move something.
Yep.
Oh.
Strength saving throw or be moved 5 feet toward or away from you. So, yeah, as much as you want. Just shove people around. Try to.
So I just put it in the cantrip section.
Okay. That was cool. That was a cool use of that ability.
Yeah. And you're trying to theme everything, if I understand this correctly, trying to theme everything is like you're transmuting things that already exist into other forms.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Because it seemed like you were like, okay, I turned the seat he's on into a thing.
Yeah, which I could have ruled like, okay, it just falls into more into the wagon. But I was like, this is a cool moment. That this is going to be an awesome kill for this fucking goblin boss. So I had her just fly completely down the wagon and literally had like 3 hit points at that point too. And the next turn, it was her turn next. The next turn, and it's written like this in the book. I'll reveal this. Oh. She torches the wagon and runs.
Oh, torches the wagon.
She sets the wagon on fire. It's basically just full of goblin beds and hay. And just
goblins are still in there.
The goblins are still in there. That was going to be an awkward moment. She starts the fire, and the other goblins would presumably run on their turn. But she would literally torch it and just like fucking take off running into the night. Which would deny you the wagon and the goblins' loot. So the fact that you
probably
killed
the bears
her,
too. I don't know, but
it's up to you. That probably would have been if somebody would have rescued the bears. Maybe it's some inspiration there or something. But because that would have been happy with that situation.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, so
that
we
was
get to
just
see
in time then.
And the nice thing about these kind of encounters is we got to see like everybody unleash all of their things. Just about. Well, Celeste used her a mysterious ability.
Yeah.
But we
had
had
like psychic scream or something.
Yeah, I think everybody that was a spellcaster cast spells. Obviously, Frey raged. We got to see everybody do all their things.
We got off a fog cloud and then started firing his arrows.
Right. It was really funny when he ran up that one time. He's like, "Oh yeah, I have a bow." You do. Not used to playing a ranged character.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of expected you guys to kick ass here. And especially when I rolled really badly for those guys. And when I rolled badly for those goblin hit points, that's when I was really like, God, a sleep spell is going to really fuck these guys up. Because it's based purely on hit points.
Right.
So even if you had gotten that off in the very beginning, if that was the first thing you did, like you would have knocked out like half those goblins.
Yep.
Man. Any more questions or comments about session 1?
I thought it was a fantastic session 1. I thought it was a great introduction to the characters, both roleplay wise and combat wise. It was just just a wonderful little like intro to the campaign.
Mm-hmm. I liked it.
Visual, you can watch not session 0, but the makeup video that says introducing Celeste on the channel, and that will, if you want to spoil yourself, that's when she actually makes the character and I deal the secrets and we deal all that. If you want to know, if you have not watched our session 0 or that video, that is when we go through all the secrets and learn about the players. Which I have a timed message. I don't know if you saw this repeating message I entered.
I did see that.
Yeah, which is like, please don't discuss spoilers.
You were doing it every time, and then I was like, Eric,
no, that's
don't be
automated.
an asshole. You've already said it once.
Well, I didn't know how many lines to do it. I put it as it goes every couple.
At some point, I realized it was an auto thing, and I was like, "Oh, okay, fine." But at first, I thought you were like literally doing it, even though no one was saying spoilers. And I was like, "Why are you okay?"
I felt like I don't know. Maybe it's not necessary, but I felt like that might have been a good idea just in case.
Yeah, probably. I didn't see anybody trying to spoil anything, but
yeah, because obviously this is a campaign that exists, so people might be talking about that kind of thing. But yeah, I think everybody did a pretty good job. Want to be surprised? That is fair. Yeah, and a lot of people don't watch crafting for that reason. I had somebody make a comment in the crafting video that was like, "Hey, I just want to say great job what you're doing, but I don't want to watch this because I don't want to spoil myself.
I want to actually watch it
that's totally fair.
Piece of entertainment, not as a crafting D&D thing."
Exactly. And I recently put all the crafting videos in a different playlist so people won't even see those on the main show, because that was something I put up as a poll saying, "Hey, do you actually want to see these when you're trying to go through the show?" And most people said, "Can you go ahead and separate that?" So
nice.
Doesn't hurt my feelings at all, because that is designed for behind the scenes, super spoilery stuff.
Sure. I mean, it's helpful for me. I don't have to like skip your crafting videos if I'm going through them.
That is true. So yeah, we didn't get to look at the whole lot of the map or the fact that you can see the tokens, that map info, macro, all that stuff will come into play next session. Okay. And it will be formally introduced to kind of the campaign story. There's going to be an awkward moment where you're going to be given a bunch of options and then where to go next, and then I don't know, depending on how much longer we'll have in the stream, I'll have to plan multiple options. So what I would have liked to say, obviously, is we get all the way to the point where, okay, where do y'all want to go next? But we didn't get nearly that far here, which I expected. I expected the intro to take a bit of time, and I expected this combat encounter to take basically the rest of the session, which I think it just about it took a little bit longer than I expected because we did a lot of role playing early on, which was good. But so we'll be dealing with that next time, and I think that will do it for this week's chat for the lost plane, the Frostside chat.
That's right. Oh, I will agree.
Yes.
Baffle me. Special call out to Heather's insane laugh.
That was good.
That's some damn commitment there. That is a commitment.
Well, I need to tell her to actually post the things. She did say that is the trigger for when she rages. She just laughs maniacally. I'd forgotten about she had that discussion. It was good. Yep. All right, that
baby didn't wake up, but
right? How does the baby not wake up?
We'd have some baby aggro at one point. She'd have to get up and deal with the baby. I heard her crying, but but thankfully nobody was gone for too long. That worked out well.
Yeah.
All right, that will do it for this week's Frostside chat. Thank you to Chris and Raymond. I am Eric. Thank you to all of our wonderful fans for watching. We will see you all next week.
See ya.